Look like you're gonna sneeze.
You know, Ronnie, they say the customer is always right.
That's not right.
If you've ever worked behind a cash register, you know how hard that can be. In truth, the customer is not always right.
No, not even close. Since most of us have to buy our groceries from somewhere, the least we can do is try not to aggravate the hard-working store clerks, cashiers, and baggers. Check out, pardon the pun there.
I got it, Ronnie.
These folks' biggest pet peeves, and maybe you'll think twice the next time you're strolling the aisles. Make sure you're not falling for these 50 tricks either.
All right, number one on our list. This happens to me every day. If it doesn't scan, that means I get it for free, right? Whack!
Nuh-uh.
No, it just means it didn't scan.
Right.
That's all that means. And I can tell you, I said to somebody the other day, gee, that's only the third time I heard that today. This is probably the most overtold joke in the stores, eliciting a groan from all but the most patient or poker-faced employees. Sadly, regardless of whether or not the scanner registers your item on the first try, you still have to pay for it, okay? So resist the temptation to use that stupid term on the cashier. And here's a pro tip for you. Most major chain stores do, however, offer discounts on dented cans, and it's fine to ask the cashier about that.
Now, I have had this happen, though, where it scans, but it's supposed to be on sale, and it doesn't scan at the sale price.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, pro tip from me, make sure you know what everything is supposed to be, the price is, before you get to the register.
You know, there was a day, and both Ronnie and I worked for automotive retail parts stores.
Yep.
And there was a day when we used to have something called price gun.
Guns, oh yeah.
And every
Stickers.
single sticker, every item had to have a sticker on it.
Yep.
Because if you got audited by the state or Weights and Measures or whoever it was at that time, everything had to be priced. Do you know that's not the case anymore?
No.
So yeah, Ronnie, you're right.
It's the exception and not the rule anymore.
And you know what? Before you buy and I'm not talking about a can of peas, but before you buy the item, do a little research on it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, and another thing I recommend, pro tip number 3, ask this question. Is that the best price you can give me?
Oh, yeah.
Ask that.
Yep.
Try it.
Yep. All right, next up, neglecting to say thanks.
Thanks.
Oh, boy, that's a huge one. It's so easy to practice simple manners, and we promise it makes a world of difference to slow down, look an employee in the eye, and thank them for their work. Small kindnesses go a long way toward making a person's day. You know, one thing I also like to do, and it completely freaks people out, is I look at their name tag, and I call them by their name.
Yeah.
Like, hey, thanks, Joanne. And they're like, whoa. Their eyes open up a little bit. They wonder, where do I know this guy from? They forget they're wearing their name on their shirt. And so it does. It freaks them out. But it does. I think it also lowers that. I mean, it's a gesture of kindness again.
Ronnie, I've lived in Antelope for 30 years. And I would say for perhaps maybe 25 of those years, there has been a Arco AM PM right on the corner of where I live. And it's where I go to gas. And I usually go right before work. So I stop in there, and I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be. Trust me, I got lots of faults, and I admit that.
I can vouch for that.
And and if you can't take his word, ask my wife. She'll tell you. But every time I need to go into that gas station to pay for whatever reason I have cash or I'm not going to use my card or something, I walk up to the counter and I say, may I please have $20 on number 5? Thank you.
Yep.
Is that so freaking hard? Freaking hard. Freaking hard.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No.
And couldn't you use that in every situation?
And you know what? Now this kind of maybe goes back a little bit to what I was talking about. So I have a friend that lives up in Newcastle, which is a smaller, kind of a rural town in our,
To be sure, yeah.
in our area. And he goes to a Valero gas station. I was with him one day when he went to the Valero gas station, and he always gets gas and a Gatorade every single time. And when he went up to pay for it, the lady said, "Hey Cam, how you doing?" Called him by his name. Now, how crazy would it be to walk into your local store, any store or gas station, and have them call you by your name? I know.
Are you saying that it's powerful?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a great tool for building a customer base. I know we have a Chinese restaurant right here in town. It's walking distance from our house, really. And whenever we go in there, they don't know my name, but they say,
They know Vicky.
"Hello, Miss Vicky." So they know her by name. She writes a check a lot of times, so I guess that's probably how they know her.
A telltale sign, I think.
Yep.
All right, so next up, this kind of specifically applies to grocery stores. Bringing more than 10 items to the 10 items or less lane. Lanes with this requirement were created for efficiency, so people with just a few items can, theoretically, get in and check out fast. Using the fast lane when you have more than 10 items makes the line longer for everyone behind you, asshat. Was that in the story? Do your fellow shoppers a solid by using the correct lane, even if the wait looks a bit longer.
Yeah. Now, a 6-pack of Coke is one item.
Agreed.
But if you have 6 Gatorades, for example, that's 6 items. Unless they're in a pack.
If they have to be scanned individually, is that what you're
If
suggesting?
they have to be scanned individually, those are individual items.
Okay, so there's the rule of thumb right there.
I
just gave it to you.
Yeah, no matter how many of them you have, it's per scan. Oh, that annoys me more than anything.
Well, I have another, and I'll save that till the end.
Okay.
Next is.
All right. Next is again kind of dealing with grocery stores, but it really could be any store. Most stores offer cash back if you're paying with a card, but that doesn't mean you can treat the register like an ATM machine.
Yeah, you don't need to be trading stocks.
No. To ensure there's enough cash to break everyone's bills, most cashiers won't be able to part with a roll of quarters in exchange for a handful of dollar bills. Try an arcade or a laundromat or an actual bank for that. Maybe your grocery store has a bank inside, which many of them do now.
Or customer
Go
service.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're very helpful.
Because that line behind you, people don't want to wait while you, oh my God, somebody the other day was like 17 cents short and they were digging through the bottom of their purse. I threw a quarter on the thing and said, let's move this along.
Let's move this along, people.
Oh my God.
People.
You're killing me here.
Smalls.
Yes.
Small change. All right, next up is leaving items in random parts of the store.
See this all the time at Sam's Club.
Yeah, and the clerk just goes, too many items in your cart? Instead of leaving a box of cookies in the produce section next to the lettuce, or ditching a case of soda in the Captain Crunch row, return these extraneous items to their shelves or bring them to the cashier so they can be properly restocked. Doing so saves confusion for other shoppers and, in the case of frozen or refrigerated foods, ensures the products don't get ruined.
Now I was just saying, I see this so much at Sam's Club, but I'll tell you how. You go to an end cap and they have something on special.
Right.
And so you grab that. Well, somebody has already grabbed one that's not on special somewhere else in the store,
And then stumbled upon this one.
and stumbled upon this one, and then they put the other one there. So there's like 3 or 4 of the non-special
Yeah.
ones.
Oh, this is not on sale. What do you mean? It was on the rack.
It's
You
on the
got to
end
give me
cap.
the sale price.
Oh,
No.
man. I see that a lot.
Well, sir, it would appear that someone has done what Ronnie just said.
Yeah, somebody
I don't care.
somebody's spoofing you.
No, I
Yeah.
want this one for that price because it was there. Again,
Yeah. All right, here's another thing that number 6 on our list: scrutinizing the receipt right after paying. So it's normal to wonder if you're getting the best deal on your groceries, but analyzing the receipt immediately after the cashier gives it back to you is rude. Not only are you holding up the line by looking for mistakes, you're also making the cashier feel as if you don't trust them.
yeah, I hate that
Yeah,
feeling.
wait until you're out of the way and make sure the grapes weren't accidentally scanned twice. Chances are there's not going to be any errors. By the way, I mean that's just kind of it's one of those things that I hate it when people do that. They stand there, they look at every item on their receipt, they look at every item in their basket. It's like, again, people have things to do and places to be.
Let me ask you a question. Those people at Costco that stand at the door
Oh yeah.
and they check your receipt, what the
Yes.
hell are they looking for? They don't even notice. I got 75 items on there.
They can't count them all.
They can't.
No, but we usually probably buy about maybe a dozen or 15 items at the most. And what's odd, I didn't know this, but somewhere on the receipt it says something, because we always buy dog food, and it goes on the bottom of the cart.
Oh, yeah.
On the receipt it says bottom of cart.
Oh, really?
So if you've stuck something on the bottom of your cart that shouldn't be there, they're going to notice that. And this, this kind of goes back a little bit, but we were talking about the 10 items or less.
Yeah.
Sam's Club has a check yourself out type of a service.
That's putting people out of work.
I agree, but it is super convenient. It's super fast. I love it. Well, Vicky and I were there. We were waiting in line behind 2 women. They had one basket, but they each had their own section of the basket.
Yeah.
Where they were going to buy their items separately.
Mm-hmm.
They each scanned their stuff, they pay for it, and they didn't get 5 feet from the register, and 2 Sam's employees said, "Can we see your receipts?" They showed them their receipts, and they said, "Oh, you didn't scan these 2 items."
Ooh.
So
How did they know?
I'm guessing that maybe they had gone through and maybe done that before, or
Video cam?
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if you can't have personnel there,
the
Why
people
not have
were
a cam?
right there, so obviously they were suspect from the get-go. And the thing is, the last place you would want to do that is like at a Sam's Club or Costco, where they have somebody at the door kind of double checking your receipt.
yeah.
So
And that's, I mean, if there's a fault with self-checkout,
that's it.
that's the one.
Yeah, it's the honesty thing.
So you know what and again, as I say, if you don't have personnel there, you've got to have a camera.
Yeah.
So I got to assume that there's a person whose job it is to watch that camera for 6 hours or whatever it might be.
Well, and my thing, and I posted this on Facebook because I hate cheaters, but I think that once you're caught doing that, you should be blackballed from using the self-scans.
Yeah.
I think you have to go.
How though?
When you try to swipe your card, it says, "Sorry, you have to go get in a line." You know what? And if a cashier makes a mistake on mine, and they say, if I've gone through a register and they make a mistake, and I get up to the front door and they say you don't have everything scanned here, I'm more than happy to turn back around, rather than argue and say, "Well, this is what the cashier did." Just go back and get it straightened out. Sam's Club and Costco, they both work on pretty slim margins to begin with. There's no sense trying to, screw them any further than that. So, wow, terrible.
All right, next up, complaining about lines on a Sunday. Sundays are by far the busiest days for stores, and the employees have no control over that. To avoid the crowds, plan your trip for a different day, Binky. Be prepared for busier aisles in the weeks leading up to major holidays and Super Bowls or Daytona 500s.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was going to a Super Bowl party a couple weeks ago. Had to stop and pick up a treat.
You went into a store?
I did.
Oh, I don't do that.
It's crowded.
I can't do
Super,
that.
super crowded.
Oh, I could never do that.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the list. Oh, this is also. I hate this. Letting your kids run wild. Bringing children to a store is encouraged, but save playtime for home, the park, and the great outdoors. Young children are apt to mistake bright, shiny objects for toys, which can be bad news for the child, not to mention the poor soul who has to clean up whatever they've spilt. Yeah. That said, a supervised trip to the store can be a great experience for your tot. Have them read the list of items you're going to buy and help them find them for you there in the store, and then load them on the conveyor belt. That was one of my favorite things to do, by the way.
You like the conveyor belt, too?
Yeah, I love the conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm. They still got those?
They do, yes.
I wouldn't know.
Oh.
Handing over coupons that just don't work. Man, nothing annoys me more than this.
Yeah.
Every savvy shopper knows there are some wild discounts to be found on coupon books. But please remember to read the fine print. Coupons are useless if you try to use them past the expiration date. Leave them at home or attempt to use one from another store. You'd be surprised what people will try.
You know, and now they have these extreme couponers.
Oh, yeah.
Where they get things, you can, pile up your coupons and use more than one, and they'll actually, pay $0 for something,
mm-hmm.
but it takes forever. It's such a time-consuming process.
And for the people behind you.
God, I know. Use it on a Tuesday at, 10 o'clock in the morning when there's just not that big of a crowd.
All right. We're going to add a couple of things here to the list from personal experience. One of the things that drives me crazy is when somebody goes into a store and their phone rings and they answer it. And thus begins the journey of walking aisle after aisle, talking on the phone at their loudest voice.
Right.
And you're subjected to hearing a conversation that you don't care anything about.
Right.
I don't care what time you need to pick up the kids. I don't care that you need bread and milk at the store. I don't want to hear that. Take that outside. Take it in your car. Not in the store. You cannot be that oblivious to people looking at you when you're doing this.
Yeah.
And you know what else? Don't expect to be helped while you're on the phone.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, can I have 10 pounds of this? Yeah. So Shirley says to me, she said, get this. She says, look, 10 pounds. I'm trying to talk here.
Well, and I when I had my shoulder surgery, I spent a lot of time in doctors' offices and getting MRIs and X-rays and then following up appointments after my surgery. And you're sitting in the doctor's office waiting room and somebody's on their phone.
Yeah.
And that's normally a fairly hushed environment. People are sometimes nervous before they get some type of a procedure done. And oh my God, people are talking so loud on the phone about things that I don't care to hear.
Yeah, it's really gross, and now there's hair growing out of it.
Yeah, I had this kind of a milky discharge when I squeezed it.
Well, Preparation H just isn't doing the job. All right, and finally, this one I love. Ronnie, I want you to charge me for this item right here.
Okay.
Okay, and about $2.
$2.18.
How much?
$2.18. Wow. That's rude.
People that throw money at you.
I'm keeping this though.
Or you can have, or throw your credit card. Oh my God! What do you think this is? A roulette table? And you're rolling dice?
Yeah, it's rude.
You're handed to them. Here you go. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
218.
Well,
out of 10.
especially when the cashier puts their hand out.
Yeah.
As a perfect landing spot for your money.
You're so cool. You have so much money, you want to just toss your card on there. Like, I'm a big spender, $2.18.
Yeah.
I love that too. No, I won't even go into that. All right, that's all the time we got. We're a long episode.
Oh, this
here.
is a long one.
Yeah. So, okay, all of the information that you might like about us is below. All of the links to all of our stuff. Check out our blogs. Check out our website. Coming soon. Either going to be Men Are So Smart T-shirts or hoodies. I'm going to make that decision in this next week and get back to you sometime in the following week, okay? Please, if you need the services that our sponsors provide, call them.
Love our sponsors.
Text them, email them,
We got
whatever.
great sponsors.
Okay? That's going to about do it for us. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
Subscribe to our channel. What channel? It's the Gallagher Entertainment Network. What show? It's called Men Are So Smart. We'll see you next time.